You know this, right? Of course you do. The simple plastic brick. It's a toy, yeah? But it's also a tool, a piece of pop culture. It's just everywhere. But what if I told you that this little brick is also the foundation of an entire town, a global philosophy of play, and one of the most incredible business comeback stories you'll ever hear?
Well, it all revolves around this place. This is in Billund, Denmark, and it's literally called the Lego House. I mean, look at it. It's an architectural marvel made to look like 21 gigantic Lego bricks all stacked together. It's pretty much the symbolic and physical heart of a creative empire.
So, that's the big question, isn't it? How did this happen? In this explainer, we're going to piece together the story, brick by brick, of how a carpenter's tiny workshop in a quiet Danish town grew to shape the entire world's imagination.
Okay, so to really get Lego, you first have to understand Billund. This isn't just a town where the Lego headquarters happens to be. No. The locals literally call it Lego Town, and its official title, get this, the capital of children.
The company's DNA is just woven into the fabric of this place. You've got the original Legoland Park, the super modern Lego campus for employees, but this next part, this is what really shows you how deep it goes. Denmark's second busiest international airport? Yeah, that started back in 1961 as a private airfield that Lego built for its business partners. You see, the company didn't just move into town, it built the town.
And hey, before we travel back in time to see how this all started, just a quick pause. Please remember to subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell, share and like our videos. The information in the video is compiled from open sources. Thank you. It genuinely helps us keep building these explainers for you. Okay, now let's get back to the story.
To really understand how all this happened, we've got to rewind way back to a single person, a carpenter with a small workshop and just an unbelievable amount of grit. Let's dig into the foundation years and see how this all clicks together.
So in 1916, this carpenter, old Kirk Kristiansen, buys a little shop. And let me tell you, he faced one disaster after another. A fire burned his shop to the ground in 1924, then the Great Depression hits. But he just refused to give up. To make ends meet, he started making miniature versions of his furniture, and that led him to start making wooden toys. Then, in 1934, he gives this new little business a name, Lego, from two Danish words leggod, which beautifully means play well.
And what's so fascinating about this early period is the moment of pure clarity he found in all that chaos. He said it himself. The real answer, the real path forward, only became clear when he decided to go all in on the idea of play. That one choice, well, it changed absolutely everything.
So the company was making toys, sure, but the big revolution? Oh, that was still to come. It would take the next generation, Ole's son Godfred, and a totally random conversation to spark the idea that would turn Lego into the giant we know today.
So the story goes, it's 1954, and Godfried is on a ferry heading to a toy fair. He starts chatting with a toy buyer who's complaining that there's no system in the toy industry. It's just a random pile of one-off products. And right there, for Godfried, a massive light bulb just goes off over his head. And that led to this, the system of play. Now, this is the crucial part. It wasn't just about making plastic bricks. It was about creating a system where every single piece, from the past, the present, and the future, would all be compatible. A brick made in 1958 had to connect perfectly with a brick made today. That was the stroke of genius.
The secret sauce that made it all possible was patented in 1958. It's this simple, brilliant stud and tube design you see on the inside of the bricks. This is what gives Lego its unique clutch power, that incredibly satisfying click that holds your creations together.
The idea was so simple, but so profound. Every brick should connect. That single principle of a totally unified, interconnected system is what allowed Lego to grow from a small Danish workshop into a global platform for creativity.
But here's the thing, even with a system that brilliant, the story isn't a straight line to success. Far from it. By the late 90s and early 2000s, the company had completely lost its way. They were launching video games, clothes, theme parks. They were stretching the brand so thin it was about to snap. They forgot about the core brick, and they were staring right into the abyss.
And the numbers, they were absolutely staggering. By 2003, their year-over-year sales had crashed by 30%.
Just a year later, in 2004, the company was drowning in $800 million of debt.
Just try to wrap your head around this. At their lowest point, the company was losing $1 million every single day. It honestly looked like it was over.
But what happened next has become one of the most studied turnarounds in modern business history. LEGO pulled off a spectacular comeback by going back to its roots, the simple, powerful idea of the brick.
This chart just shows you how fast they righted the ship. Their operating margin, which is basically how much profit you make on each dollar of sales, it skyrocketed from a really dangerous 2.4% in 2003 to a super healthy 15.6% just 3 years later. They did it by getting laser-focused on the core brick, slashing all the confusing product lines, and just remembering what made them so special in the first place.
And, that comeback didn't just save the company. It recentered it completely. That whole philosophy of play well became their North Star again, and it's the engine driving all of their innovation today.
I mean, their mission statement says it all: to inspire and develop the builders of tomorrow. It's a direct echo of what Kirk Kristiansen envisioned with playing well, just now applied on a massive global scale.
And they are doing it in ways that go so far beyond a simple toy box. The LEGO Foundation, which owns a quarter of the whole company, champions learning through play all over the world. LEGO Education is changing classrooms with hands-on robotics and science kits, and they're pouring money into finding more sustainable materials. It really is the system of play evolving for the 21st century.
It leaves you with a pretty powerful thought, right? From a humble carpenter's workshop, through fires and near bankruptcy, a simple toy built an entire town and a philosophy of endless creative potential. So if all of that can come from one little brick, what can we, the builders of tomorrow, create with the tools we have in our hands today?